So this is a 60-minute channel. So API tonight at 4:30, EIA at 10:30 tomorrow morning. This is the channel support that we're watching. I gotta tell you, I think we're going back here. You know, so depending on when we get there, you're in the 52s or 53s. But I'm pretty sure we're going back there, at least to this mid-channel line here at 53.80. And I just say that because it never returned, like it took off. It jumped the channel, these red lines. Now, it's not your main channel, the orange lines are, but anyway, I emailed this chart out for you. I think it's the best one to be using right now. The 5-minute I won't even explain. It's just my doodle pad for different extensions. A minute. All the different extensions too today that we were following, that wasn't easy. So, and sure enough, we're getting right back to that 55.25 extension right here. So it got up over it. It started to fill what it previously should have filled, which would have been here. It just didn't get there. So the bulls are having a hard time running full extensions. So that tells me we're in for a pullback, but that's, you know, that's not a for sure. But considering we skipped a channel without it returning, I guess the extension was the same as this one here, but yeah, tough to say. I guess just follow the channel for now. In the epic model, it was clean from the bottom of the down channel up to the middle, the mid quad. So I think you're going to see on the different time frames proper structure come back in. We were, you know, we were waiting for the machines to come in, and they didn't, and price took off on us right here and got us offside. And that was funds moving in all through here. You know, that was confirmed. So the machines, for whatever reason, you know, they started to fire in different areas, but they haven't really got aggressive. But the funds started to move in. So that's the battle we're seeing. So that tells me we're probably going to see the pullback, at least here. I'd have to call 53.88. Depends where in this trend line. So that would bring you on epic down in here. I guess that would bring you back to where it started when the funds moved in, which would kind of make sense. Guess we'll see. Okay, so that's oil, and I apologize, the bulldog is snoring next to me here. So 60-minute quads, I'll kill that off. This is that 15-minute channel I've been working on. I really like that model. This is a 60. Same idea, just different perspectives. And then the 5-minute doodle. I'm going to try and leave most of these up if I can here. Okay, so we're going to just go through some of the movers here. Well, first let's look through a few of our plays here. I won't go through them all right now. I'm trying to reconcile a report that goes through almost all of them. By the way, welcome to the new members that are in here today. Okay, so OIH, we started a long position today, and it's, let me take a look on another monitor. It's trading up 1.71% at 11.89. So we're, it's just the start. We're on the right side of a starter on it. McDonald's, I was saying, be really cautious in here. This is the target area, and it was sitting right on that target support. Usually those targets have a meaning behind them in terms of the size. Not always, because sometimes they're just free-handed. TREX, so this has really come off hard. Exactly, I thought. Every yellow line, you got to be careful with support and resistance. But we have a target down here for the full play. I knew this one was going to start coming off, but it's got so much support behind it in terms of funds and insiders and stuff. It's hard to say. Plug power. This is also a beautiful play. It trades nice. Anyway, I put out the report to take profits into resistance. It's a real clean trader. This is that OIH start this morning. I think that was in pre-market. So we were in 1160s and it's trading 1190s. So no big deal yet. And who knows, it may not hold, but it's just a 10% size starter. And then OVX starters yesterday. The 35s. And then AMRX. Balance fill very likely. So let's take a look at this OVX really quick. There'll be some days where we have much more time, other days where we don't have a lot of time. I'll make sure at least once a week we have lots of time to go through. And that'll typically be Fridays where I go through, basically everything and anything we have in play and clean it all up. During the week, usually it's tough because there's just so much going on. But by the time you get into this time, Friday afternoon, there's no reason to clean it all up. Not to clean it all up. So these charts will be a little bit slow here today, but so this comes off of this alert here, 1/5 size. We were in 35s yesterday, and that's where it's sitting right now. Oh, it could collapse, and that's the reasoning for the sizing, right? So that's OVX. But there's a fantastic risk reward because that can easily spike up into the 80s. The other here that I wanted to go through really quick, AMRX. Let me just bring up this chart. So it's 331. We're looking for a bounce into 605. Again, lots of risk reward, and I think that one's probably gonna go. Bitcoin, I'm gonna leave for today. I won't get into that. It's holding its current zone. And you can just look at the videos from previous. So I'm going to spend the time that we do have on the movers here. I don't have any requests today, so that makes this part quick. So I'm just going to look at what has been moving today. GRUB, by the way, I was thinking about a possible bounce play. Beyond Meat, nice call, but I didn't. Man, I called that short right on time. Anyway, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? WINS is the first one here. So we're going to fly through these. So all I do with these is I use the daily and the weekly charts to give me an idea if there's a setup. If there's a setup, then I'll dig into them deeper. And usually after hours, like when I'm doing my homework at night, But anyway, WINS up 40% today. This is its daily chart. You know, there's zero structure for me to work with. I can tell right away if there's structure in the chart, and it's just not a play I would get into. Now, you might be able to get a 3-dayer here. Last time they got a 2-dayer, but there would have been action on the 3rd day to trade. So if you're, if you're a crazy day trader, crazy day trading days, this would be on my watch list for tomorrow morning. But it's just not one that I'll do now. I like using structured plays. I did have a question email on oil and firing on predictability, et cetera, et cetera. So what you're going to see is you'll see the software once it gets into this channel support here. If it dumps or it jumps, you're going to see that software get aggressive because it's now got its structure back. It's hard to explain in short how it works, but yeah, I won't even go into the details. You just have to go through the white paper to see how it makes its decisions, but it's only high probability trades until it returns that trajectory. I thought it would have been by API this week, but it was so out of order, the structure, that it just hasn't been able to fire. But structure is coming back. So if I had to give you a guess, I'd say Thursday night. Like, it'll be quick now, it won't be, unless something bizarre happens. Okay, so I'll fire through these quick. AMKR, so this is the weekly, well above. I know nothing about it other than to say that there's no structure for us to work with. PCG, weekly chart, no structure for us to work with. Do I think it could bounce? Sure, it could bounce, but CYCN, no structure to work with. Man, hopefully this doesn't continue through this whole list here today. SES, nothing for us to work with. That would be one of those day traders I'd be watching. Well, mind you, this is 3rd day. So. MHH. This isn't so bad. It's too bad the move is so far gone. Interesting. Just about makes the cut. TXRH. Nothing I can do with it. CNX. This isn't so bad. Wow. This is super interesting. So, chart memory says you might see 17. That's a double. Yeah, I can't ignore it. So all I do here for simplicity for now, and then I'll go back to it and model it out, is just mark myself a horizontal line. So yeah, 17s. Very, very interesting. This thing is going to see that 200 MA, I bet you, at 1240 without trying. Wow, up 18%. That's a strong weekly candle, boy. So that's CNX resources and energy play. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to save it really quick on watch, and I'll model it tonight. Love it. Okay, now on the daily. Okay, so it's up to its 200 MA. So you may want to sit back and watch it for a day or two. But I'll model this out. That's a sweet play. That's CNX. Nice structure. HLIT. Daily is tough to work with. Weekly. That's an interesting play too. Not my style really, but I'll show you what I'm seeing here. So your falling wedge. of sorts. These are powerful, these falling wedges, because they're consolidation of the bulls, right, when they happen. This is powerful stuff. I mean, there's a few different ways to see this wedge, but I would see it similar to this. When you get those, man, I don't know. You got to be really careful with these in terms of not paying attention to them. You don't want to ignore those. Geez, that's a nice play. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stay away from it. Not because I don't like it, just because it's not primo. So this is harmonic, HLIT. That's HLIT, harmonic trading 777. Interesting. Falling wedge, super strong potential. So there's different ways to do this, but how I do this is I take my falling wedge here. This is your double bottom hit. Take your double bottom hit to where it breaks out of the wedge. I'll just get this so you can see it. Okay. You take that arrow, clone it, bring it up, put it on top, and that's your first target. 945. That's target 1. And then you just go up from there on your previous highs. Target 2 is 1201. It's not a bad play, you guys. So you just take a horizontal line and you just plop her there. That's your first target. You just clone it. And yeah, that'd be a good second target. Clone it. And your third target. Like that. I've done it now. May as well. So this one's on watch. So I'll get this one in the report. That was HLIT. BCG, no. These are moving around on me now. SES, CYCN, MH, TX, RH, CNX, NDM, nothing. HLIT, that's the one we just did. CSTL, nothing. TALO, nothing to work with. Well, yeah, no. MTRX, crazy, eh? Just draw a line, trade the channel, not my style. TTM, yeah, you're probably going to see 1446 on it, but and then probably the gap fill here, 1277, but it's CSV. I've traded this before. How do you like that structure? Yeah, I should have stayed with this one. I was trading it down in here. I knew this was coming. Well, I didn't. You never know, but it's kind of obvious at the time. Anyway, nothing now. NOV, National Oil, Albarco. I'm watching. Let's put it that way. THOR, same thing, watching. Yes, tough one. AINC, those were on my watch list anyway. AINC, nope. POAI, nada. CEI, careful with this. Okay, so that's that list. Now GRUB, as far as a snapback trade. I don't know, what do you guys think? Tough one, eh? But here's what I liked about the chart when I was looking at it is this. A possible snapback. I'm going to leave that on the watch list. And then we get SLCA, US Silica, no, OXU, no, TTPH, no, no, not right now. That's about it there. Now Tesla. Let's look at that really quick. Not a lot of great charts there today. I was running through them earlier, so I had a pretty good idea. Just not a great day. You'll find some days really good, some days not so. So much financial noise this week. But, you know, the new time cycle into March, we're going to get the right routes here on the way in. Away we go. Okay. So we're up at 316. Hit 324. You know where you are, right? Thin air up here. Can I keep going? Sure. But that 3861 has been tops. And this 354 area is really stretched. But look at it, almost hit the quad wall. Anytime you see that, man, you got to be really careful. So anybody that's long, I'd really think twice. This channel, I'm still convinced it's our channel up over top, and it's come underneath. So I don't think you're in good shape if you're long. Short, you may want to wait. Let it do its thing up here. It's not an easy trader. You just got to have the kahunas to say, okay, it's getting up in here. You know, I'll take 1, 2, or 3, 4 sizes, right, and just chip at it. We're not yet. I thought about it today. Are we close? Yeah, we're really close. By this time next week, we'll be into our gold, silver, the dollar, Bitcoin. Volatility, it's hard to say exactly when, and the S&P. All of our standards will be in heavy by this time next week, and of course the swings out the other side. Other than that, let's just take a look here really quick. Just want to see this earnings after the close today. AMD, AMGN, FireEye is reporting tonight. I'll be watching that really close. So there's a number on here I'll be watching. AMGN, AMD, FireEye. Oh, and I did have a question about Citi. Let's go take a look here. The pot stocks, I'm not worried about pot stocks at all. Sorry, Maven asked me, just sent me a message. Pot stocks I'm really comfortable with. I think we're going to see, you know, this might not be a bottom, but I think we're going to see a really nice return over the next 12 months. But we're not deep in them yet. We have a starter in one, right? We like pot stocks and banks, and we're thinking oil services. We have some seasonality on our side for oil services. Okay, so Citigroup, without any of the modeling, well, there's the model now. This 200 MA, if it pulls back, that's going to be my hit for sure in terms of sizing. But it hit mid quad, so remember grays and greens, and then your quad walls, your diagonal trend lines, grays, greens, diagonal trend lines, and your 200 MAs. Always, always, always. But anyway, up against resistance, we'll see if it gets in the channel and runs. These are my targets for it. But you could see a pullback. And who knows until it plays out, right? Okay, and McDonald's, you just got to be really careful with McDonald's. Maybe ask me about that too. Let's do MCD really quick. There you go. So the shorts are doing well so far, but you got to let it prove out. So don't get too excited either way right now. Once it gets out of this target zone and it keeps trending one way or the other, yeah, no problem. And I'll just make sure I've got all the important ones here right now. OIH, McDonald's, TREX, what a beautiful setup that was. Plug Power, Beauty, OVX, we'll see. AMRX, we'll see if that plays out. Bitcoin, that trade's going well. S&P, do you want me to look at it quick? I may as well, hey? And then we're going to call it for today. And then tomorrow, my schedule tomorrow is a lot better. I should be able to dig in deep. And then for sure by Friday at the latest. But remember, we're coming out the other side of this time cycle. It's a huge, huge week for financial news. So once again, you just gotta exercise patience. Don't panic. Don't get yourself all bent out of shape. Remember, a couple of videos ago, I said, watch this here. Look at how it's banging up against it. And then up above that is this 306 area. Gonna be interesting. They better handle this properly this week or they're gonna have a sell down. Anyway, we'll see. Red lines are your channel. That's your most important. So sorry it's such a short one today, but if you have any specific requests for tomorrow, go ahead and shoot them to me. If you can't make it in tomorrow, make sure you watch tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's is going to be really important. There's a number of them that I'm going to dig into, and a lot of these earnings tonight and tomorrow morning are on high watch. And then there's a number of trades that are sitting up there on high watch. And I expect that a lot of them are going to sit up between now and then, and or by the end of the week at the latest. But by the end of the week, for sure by the end of Friday, I'll have gone through in depth a lot of the new ones. There's probably, there's about 40 I'd like to have done by then. So hopefully we have them. I'm just thinking of the list that I'm working on right now, but it's about 40. It's at least 30, maybe even closer to 50. There's a lot there. So anyway, we'll have lots of setups to consider before the end of the week. But don't ignore those oil services. It looks like we might have a setup for those. Okay, so I'm going to be around for API at 4:30 and into 5 o'clock, and then I'll be back for futures tonight. And remember, if you have any that you want me to look at tomorrow, make sure you email me.